This is question number 44 of set A. So we are going to discuss set A, question number 44. Okay. The question says that which of the following explains the practice of Vattakirutal as mentioned in the Sangam poems, and there are four alternatives. The first, kings employing women bodyguards. The second, learned persons assembling in royal courts to discuss religious and philosophical matters. And the third option is young girls keeping watch over agricultural fields and driving away birds and animals. The fourth option is a king defeated in a battle committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. So we are going to discuss this question, but before coming to the answer, let's discuss some important concepts about Vattakirutal. Okay, so let's discuss some important concepts which are related to this Vattakirutal. Okay, so first we have to understand that this term has its origin in Sangam literature, right? So this term has its origin in where? In Sangam literature. And we all know that when we say Sangam literature, okay, it means in Sangam age, there were some important literary compositions and they are called Sangam literature. Okay. And the time period extends from 300 BC to 300 AD. Okay. So we are talking about important literary compositions in Sangam age, right? So this term has been mentioned in this Sangam age literary creation. Now, when we divide this literary composition, Sangam literature, so we can divide it into two parts. This entire Sangam literature, we can divide it into two parts. The first part is called Akam, and the second part is called Puram. Akam and Puram. So basically, we are talking about compositions because these literary compositions are what? Poetic compositions. So there are two prominent kind of poetic compositions. One is Akam and the second is Puram. Okay, so Akam means what? Akam means poems of love, right? And when we talk about Purams, it means the songs that has been composed to praise war, to glorify military achievements of the warriors. Okay, so these are what? The poems which are talking about what? The poems of compassion and love. And when we say Puram, it means it is related to what? Glorification of bravery. Okay, of, you can say that, important chiefs, military chiefs of the rulers of at that time. And this Sangam age, this age is also known as an age of state formation, an age of state formation. So it's clear that the wars and conflicts are inevitable. So when we say this as an age of state formation, so wars and conflicts are inevitable. Okay, glorification of bravery is inevitable. Okay, so when we say Sangam literature, it is a comprehensive portrayal of various things. There are various themes. For example, it also portrays nature and its element in very detail. It discusses what? Love and compassion. It discusses what? Glorification of war, glorification of bravery. Plus, in Sangam age literary compositions, we also find what? Moral teachings. Okay, this has also been given. There are different words, and among these words, this word we find Vatta Kirutal. So, what is the meaning of Vatta Kirutal? So, it is a ritual, a practice. It is a ritual, or you can say that practice. So, first important question is that, okay, which group is related to this ritual or practice? So, we must know about this practice first. So, this practice is what? Fasting till death, right? So, Vatta Kirutal is a ritual in which it is popular for this fasting till death. Is it clear? And it is said that looking towards the north, fasting till death. Okay. So this was practiced by whom? This was practiced by rulers. Okay. It means rulers can do this, rulers can perform this ritual. Okay. Who have faced defeat in some battle. Okay, plus the followers of the rulers can also practice this ritual. The followers of the ruler can also practice this ritual, right? Who have faced defeat in the battle. It means that this can be practiced individually also. This can be practiced individually also. And this can be practiced collectively also. In a group also, it can be practiced. Okay. So, what was the need to introduce such kind of ritual? Okay. So, we also need to think about that. That what was the need to introduce such kind of ritual? Okay. So, in North India and in South India, okay, in ancient cultural tradition, we see, okay, the need, North India also and in South India also. North India also and in South India also. For example, in North India, what we see, there is four Varna system. You all are familiar with this four Varna system: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Okay, these are the four Varnas. And the Kshatriya class among these Varnas was considered to be what? This Kshatriya class was considered to be warriors. Okay, it means it was their sole responsibility to protect the society. Okay, so they are having this sole responsibility of protection. They are known as warrior class. So if they are warrior class, so they will be encouraged to, okay, fight. So in this way, their bravery will be praised, and they will be encouraged to fight more and more wars. Okay, so I am giving you a very famous example, okay, in which the bravery is praised. For example, there is a famous writer. The name of this writer is Jagnik. The name of this writer is Jagnik, famous writer. Okay, and this Jagnik wrote, okay, a famous literary composition. This is called Alha Khand. This is called what? Alha Khand. Alha Khand. This is a famous literary composition. And what has been discussed in this Alha Khand? Okay, so a ruler. There is a story about two brave persons in a state. Okay, there was a king. The name of this king was King Paramardi Dev. King Paramardi Dev. And there are two brave persons in his court. These are his feudal lords also. This is known as Alha and Udal. Okay, they are powerful warriors, feudal lords in his court, in the court of King Paramardi Dev. Okay, and in this context, Jagnik has written a few lines. Most of you have heard about these lines, and these lines are like that: 12 बरस ले कुकर जीवे और 16 ले जीवे सियार. What does it mean? It means that dogs live for 12 years, okay, and the jackals live for 16 years. And what is saying next? बरस 18 क्षत्रिय जीवे आगे जीवन को धिक्कार. It means that 18 years of kshatriya life are worthy. Okay, it means living more than that is shameful for a kshatriya. It means, what are you doing? You are encouraging, okay, bravery. Okay, that you have to fight. You don't have to face defeat in the battlefield. You have fight to win. Okay, so this was the kind of mentality in which the bravery was promoted and encouraged. Okay, so this is an example from a literary composition. Now you should know this, that the British had some, okay, policy, and in this policy we all know that when we talk about British Indian Army, it also composed of Indian soldiers and Rajput soldiers, and the Rajput regiment was one of the most important regiment in East India Company Army. Okay, so the British authorities used to encourage the Rajput regiment rulers by using these lines also. Okay, so this is the importance of these lines. Now we come to South India. What we find in South India, in early literary compositions, in the phase of state formation, Vattakirutal, this ritual has been mentioned. It means what? If a king faces defeat in the battlefield, okay, he have a moral compulsion to perform Vattakirutal. His followers have this moral compulsion to follow this Vattakirutal. It means what? Okay, the king must not face defeat in the battlefield. It means you have to fight the battle to conquer it, to win the battle. Okay, so this is a social ritual, and the need of this ritual is what? Okay, to promote, to motivate, or to enlighten the kind of bravery in the soldiers. So this is Vattakurutal. This was the need of the time. Wars and conflicts were inevitable. Wars and conflicts were inevitable because this Sangam age was also the age of state formation. Okay, so this ritual was given. Now let's come to the question again. Okay, in these four options, the fourth option says what? A king defeated in a battle, king defeated in a battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. So this is the correct alternative or choice. King defeated in a battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. Now, what is the source of this question? Okay, so the source of this question is a famous book, and the name of the book is what? Okay, this is a famous book. Name of the book is A History of Ancient and Early Medieval India, written by a famous writer Upinder Singh. Okay, now this question has been asked in general studies. Okay, so it is not expected from the GS students to read this book. Okay, so this book is important for optional students. History optional students used to read this book. Okay, so definitely you are not going to find the answer here. You will be uncomfortable in the examination. Those students who are history optional student, they can tackle this question. Okay, so this question comes in the category, and the category is what? Difficult for the GS students, right?